This time on Irish Pickers,
Raise your right hand.
Ian's pushed hard on a deal in Tyrone.
Shake my hand, dear. Make it easy and I'll sell it. Right, shake my hand.
Butsy chances his arm in Athenry.
How much you get them for?
How much did I pay for them?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a secret,
It's a
dude.
secret.
Yeah.
And tattooist to the stars Mark Mahoney pays a visit.
So Ian, what do you got for me, man?
Top Dublin dealer Ian Dowling trades in the history of the Emerald Isle.
I'm on the road with my best mate, exploring every inch of this country to find the antiques that tell the stories of Ireland. I like to look at these doors, man. That's a nice piece of history right there.
With the help of his team, Ian turns picks
1,000 wouldn't do it for you. Shake it 16.
into profit.
750 for the whole collection. I'll let you have them for 18.
924. Come on, man. All right, deal.
Ali's the brains of the operation.
I need you to head towards the Ring of Kerry.
Butsy's the muscle.
Yabba dabba doo.
And Vinny's the experience.
The early bird catches the worm.
We are historical treasure hunters, and together we make an amazing team.
It's the beginning of a whole new week at Mulligan's Pub,
All right, boss.
home to Irish Pickers HQ. Dealer Ian is taking a bit of a breather.
Any plans, lads?
I think we're just going to take it handy this week, aren't we, man?
Yeah.
Relax, a well-deserved rest. That's what you need.
Upstairs, office manager Ali is holding the fort.
Hello, Irish Pickers. Ali speaking.
Hey, Ali, it's Mark Mahoney. How are you, hon?
Oh my God, hi Mark. How are you? Long time no see.
I'm awesome. I'm gonna be coming to town.
Hi guys.
Oh, hey, Ali, all right? How's things?
good. I'm just off the phone from Mark Mahoney in LA, and he's actually going to be in town at the end of the week.
I'll be brilliant to see him. Yeah, I haven't seen him in ages. Mark runs the Shamrock Social Club on the Sunset Strip in Hollywood, Los Angeles. He's tattooed the biggest names in movies and music for the past couple of decades. Stars such as Angelina Jolie, Brad Pitt, and Johnny Depp. And anytime I go over, I always pick up a new tattoo. He's the best in the business.
As well as being one of the finest Irish-American tattooists, Mark is also one of Ian's best customers. So he needs to find something that's up his street, and quick.
He looks for stuff that has a kind of a personal story attached to it, something related to Irish history. Mark loves anything got to do with Irish rebellion, religious iconography, or anything really weird and wonderful from the old country. I don't know if we have anything in stock that has that wow factor. We're going to have to get out and try and meet some solid dealers and try and find something.
What about your man down in Galway, Athenry? What's his name? Dave McDermott.
Yeah, Athenry Antiques, yeah.
Yeah, he would be worth a hit.
Give Dave a buzz and let him know we're heading down. And maybe somewhere else as a backup. We can't take any chances, don't want to come back empty-handed.
Ian and Butsy spring into action and head 120 miles west to Athenry in County Galway.
Athenry, famous for its castles, priories and defensive walls.
Athenry is Ireland's best preserved medieval town. Its ancient Anglo-Norman walls, castle and defence towers protected the thriving 13th century market town from attack. And many of these structures are still standing today.
Dave McDermott, he's got some great stock apparently. He does house clearances and yeah, gets some good stuff.
Dave McDermott opened his doors in Athenry in 2018, and the shop is packed with treasures from all over County Galway.
We sell a little bit of everything, really. Antique furniture and vintage furniture, Irish pub and shop memorabilia, anything that we can get our hands on that's old and looks well. We try to cater for everybody here, you know. A dealer from any shop in the country could come in here and find something that they'd want to buy.
Athenry Antiques is in a catchment area that includes Georgian houses and country manors. This small shop is the perfect place for Ian to find the ideal piece for his big client.
Hey lads.
How's it going?
Not too bad. Welcome.
Dave, how are you?
Not too bad now. How
How's
are you getting
things?
on? Welcome.
It's got buckets of character, doesn't it?
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah. A Super Nintendo in an antique shop. Check this out, man. The old woman that lived in the shoe.
Looks like she's sneaking up on them to give them a whip.
She does, and this lad's hiding over here.
Yeah, they're all running.
Ian has his eyes peeled for the perfect pick and spots a painting that could be just the ticket.
Just looking at this Lusitania painting here.
Yeah, it's nice, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's all in its original frame and it was painted in 1918, so it's a nice period painted piece.
The Lusitania was built between 1904 and 1906 and was the biggest passenger ship in the world at the time. In 1915, during the First World War, it was torpedoed by a German submarine off the coast of County Cork. It sank 18 minutes later. taking with it over 1,000 lives.
Got 375 on that, yeah?
Yeah.
280. Get one deal out of the way.
300.
290.
Go on.
Deal. The Lusitania painting is an absolute find. 290 quid for an original painting of what was one of the most tragic incidents in Irish maritime history. Collectible in its own right, this will sell really well. A good, healthy margin awaits on this piece. But for my American client, Mark, I don't think it's the piece for him.
The boys keep searching for that all-important piece. But with lots of other items on offer, Butsy can't resist trying to blag a bargain on some old oil lanterns.
How much did you get them for?
How much did I pay for them?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a secret,
It's
dude.
a secret?
Yeah.
Well, will you take 50 for the pair?
Ah, yeah, we would.
Yeah.
Yeah, no hassle at all.
This jumped out at me as soon as I walked in the door.
Of course.
The rare lettering up there at the top.
Yeah.
My business is called Rare Irish Stuff.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Look, I'd offer 4 for the rare.
Yeah, well, look, we do 430 if you wanted to take the 4 letters away.
Yeah, okay, deal.
Cool. Excellent.
Thanks, man. Thanks,
Yeah.
Dave. For what it means to me, that's a fair price. They have a great retro look, as they are, but when we get them lit up, they're going to look absolutely fantastic. What about this here, Dave?
Oh, that's great, isn't it?
Yeah. The RT Guide lamp is just a nice, kind of fun, nostalgic piece. Everyone knows the RT Guide. It's a magazine that had the TV listings in it. A lot of families would get one every week and mark out the shows that they wanted to see. It's almost like an Irish tradition for a lot of households. Would you do a ton?
I've close enough to that in it, really.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
110 to do it.
110,
Yeah.
that's a deal. Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank
dead.
you.
Fair play to you.
Cheers, thank you. This lamp here.
Oh, yeah, a bit
Dave.
of trench art.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what do you know about this?
It's a 1917 British Army shell, and like all the trench art is made just during the war or immediately post-war.
This lamp was originally an artillery shell from the Battle of the Somme in World War I. Soldiers in the trenches made pieces of art using discarded shells and bullets, which became known as trench art.
Kind of struck by how something so beautiful could have come out of such a miserable situation. And you say a ton on this?
Yeah, no hassle. Yeah, that's grand. Cheers. Spot on.
The trench art lamp, I absolutely love that. We got that for €100. I think at very minimum 200 online, more like 250.
Although there's a potential profit of €150 in the trench art lamp, it's still not the right choice for Ian's American client.
I think for Mark, I'd be looking for something really that has a good and untold story. So when he's got clients in the tattoo shop, he can actually talk about an incident or a person involved in a certain period of Irish history.
Continuing on his mission, Ian wangles his way into a back room, where he's the first to check out Dave's latest stock.
I found a few bits. So these beautiful enamel sign here, booking office. Ladies, gents, it's great getting into these kind of back rooms, the back end of a shop like Dave's. You can usually find something that maybe he hasn't really kind of gotten out onto the shop floor yet, that's maybe just fresh off the boat that he's just gotten in.
With his favourite items chosen, it's time for Ian to see if Dave will do a quick deal.
I'm not trying to be cheeky here, right, but will you take 3 for the lot?
I'd come down to 450 on it.
Would you shake on 4?
425.
Okay, yeah, deal. So we got the whole lot here for 425. I'm going to make that back on the post box alone.
That bulk deal could return Ian over €600. So, with a healthy profit already in the bank, Ian can focus solely on finding the ideal piece for his client.
Interesting, isn't it?
It is, isn't it? Looks important.
The Irish UN soldiers, see the shamrock on the shoulder there. Dave,
Yeah.
just wanted to find out a bit more about this picture.
Yeah, that's the Irish UN peacekeeping troops on the way out to the Congo in the early 60s. These troops were involved in the siege of Jadotville.
The siege of Jadotville occurred during the Congo crisis of 1961, where 150 Irish soldiers on a UN peacekeeping mission found themselves fighting against 3,000 Katangese troops.
They didn't have a single casualty. They only surrendered when they ran out of ammunition and food. They were held prisoners of war then for about 30 days afterwards.
You know, my granddad actually fought in the Congo. I don't know much about it though. Like, but
He served in the Congo,
yeah,
did he?
served in the Congo. I never really asked him too much about it. I know he has a few medals now, but he died there not so long ago. But
Yeah. You never know, he could have been one of...
he could have been. Yeah, there's a couple of handsome lads there, isn't he?
There is.
I was told I look like him a bit as well, you know.
You take 40 for this?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Deal.
Cheers. You'd be able to look
It's
up
yours,
the
man. A little
information.
gift for you.
This is for me.
Yeah, of course
Oh,
it is,
thanks.
man. Yeah. They were real heroes, just like your granddad.
It's actually a bit tearful now after that. Probably other grandfathers and that made their family proud too. Same as myself, so.
Can I ask you about this painting here, Dave?
Yeah. The man's name was Mark Mahoney, and he was actually a cooper at the Guinness factory.
The manufacture of wooden casks used to store Guinness were made by highly skilled workers known as coopers. Well paid and well respected, they ensured not a drop was lost when the famous stout was in storage.
It's a really nice Edwardian painting of a gentleman. The coopers were the most skilled workers in the Guinness factory at the time, so he would have been on plenty of money.
The Martin Hendrick painting of the Guinness Cooper is a fantastic item, and this is a little bit more what I was kind of looking for. I think this would look really well in Mark's shop, and it's a great conversation piece. So what, you got $2.50 on that?
50 on it, yeah.
Can we say two?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
yeah.
deal.
Perfect.
Cheers, mate.
Very
Thanks a
good.
million.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. So 200, there you go. That will sell to a Guinness collector, no problem. I think we're hoping to get about $7.50 for that painting.
Dave specialises in militaria and has a collection of items dating back to 1922 he thinks might interest Ian.
The War of Independence medal in its original box with the original ribbon. You've got the two compliment slips with it. The gentleman was called Pat Healy, and he was a spy during the War of Independence. Then after the war, then he became a guard. So we have a Garda whistle. You can see it has Garda Síochána on the whistle. We have a little set of buttons, and that's his sergeant's flash.
We might have another strong contender here for my American client.
Coming up, will Ian make a successful bid on this reminder of a man who fought for freedom?
Nice little collection, really.
Yeah. We might be onto a winner here.
And the boys have a keen eye for the ladies.
Are you admiring my women? Make me an offer.
20, to be really honest with you, you know.
At Athenry Antiques in Galway, dealer Ian Dowling is trying to find the ideal piece for a valued American client. He's after a military collection that once belonged to an Irish revolutionary.
It's very rare that you'd get an actual supporting document from the period to back up his claim.
And what kind of money are we talking then for the...
The whole collection, including the whistle and the badges and the buttons and all that, you'd be looking at 400. Be nice to keep it all together.
Yeah. 350 and do a deal. Take it away.
Yeah, okay, come on.
Deal. We got the Pat Healy medal for just 350 quid. I think this would be right up my American client's street because he's an interest in the War of Independence and Irish Rebellion.
Ian has taken a lot of antiques from here today, and he's also taken a lot of stories about County Galway and important items from people and places within the city and the county, so we're glad that story can live on with the bits and pieces that he's taken with us, and hopefully he'll do well on the items himself. Thank you very much.
Dave,
it's been a pleasure.
I really appreciate
Absolutely.
it.
I'll just give you a pat on the back, Butsy.
Today's been fantastic. Dave's an absolute gentleman. He's got a great shop. He's got a great eye. He's easy to deal with.
All right, lads, take care of yourselves.
I think we're going to do a lot of business going forward into the future.
Ian's filled his boots at Athenry Antiques, spending almost €2,000 on 12 lots, but should expect to make around $2,500 in profit. Ian has two strong options in the bag for his US client, celebrity tattooist Mark Mahoney. But he's not leaving anything to chance, and the following day he checks in with Ali for a fresh lead.
How are you, Ali? How's things?
Great, well I have that second pick lined up for you if you still need it.
Perfect.
One of the collectors that you deal with up north, he's actually recommended a dealer named Stanley Fleming, and he runs Countryside Antiques, and it's in Cookstown in County Tyrone.
Cheers, Ali.
Cheers, Ian. Bye-bye.
Ian and Butsy travel 150 miles north towards Cookstown in County Tyrone. Tyrone is home to historic sites, including Tullyhogue Fort. Tullyhogue, meaning Hill of Youth, was an important inauguration site of the High Kings of Ulster, who were crowned upon a stone throne which stood nearby. King of his own collectibles kingdom is owner of Countryside Antiques, Stanley Fleming.
How are you, Stanley?
I'm very well, thanks.
Heard a lot about you.
That's good. Hope it's all good.
It's all good, don't you worry. Only great things, to be honest.
Stanley set up Countryside Antiques with his wife and has been in business 25 years, selling a wide variety of antiques and collectibles.
We started off one small shade, it went to a second small shade, and I finish up I had to build this big shade to carry my stock on. I think we're the only antique dealer in this end of the world.
I really don't know how Ali quite does it. I mean, this is a fantastic lead. It's a proper Aladdin's cave of goodies in here.
If there's anything you fancy, give me a shout.
I like these chairs, man.
They're nice.
The antique child's rocking chair is just an absolute find. I mean, they're really hard to come by these days. They're really well made, and that's why they're so special.
What's the price on that tag in?
$195.
How much do you have to get off it to be happy? Like?
I'd like to get it for $150. Just wanted to ask you about the little rockers here.
I could do it for 170.
170. Would you do 150 for this one here?
160.
I knew from the glint in Stanley's eye that he was going to drive a hard bargain. Oh, God, OK. Deal. Yeah, we'll do a deal, just to get things going, all right? Thanks very much, Stanley. Cheers, mate. Thank you. Wherever this chair goes, there'll be lovely memories attached to it, and that's why they're so special. This chair won't leave me for anything less than $290.
There is a huge interest in medieval militaria, since big-budget productions like Game of Thrones and Braveheart were filmed in Ireland, making it very collectible here and in the US.
Check that out, man. It's serious weight in that.
Oh, God. I feel like Mel Gibson holding this, you know that? You can't tempt me freedom.
The sword was just a really interesting piece. You don't see something like that very often.
No ordinary man could handle that.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, we were just saying that.
I can handle it.
It looks great. It looks old. And it looks like it's had a past. It's 179. What's the best you do on this?
160.
We say 150?
You're pushing what?
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Seeing as we're up in Northern Ireland and Game of Thrones is filmed around here, I thought, sure, I have to take it home. I won't be letting this sword go for any less than 300.
With time ticking by, Ian's eye is drawn towards some striking ladies.
These old calendars up here.
You like them?
What do you think? Yeah, they're quite racy for back in the day, aren't they? Your one's lying down on the bed there on the right.
Are you admiring my women?
Are they your women, are they?
That's my women.
I was wondering why there was no price tag on them. Sound kind of conservative still for 1964, isn't it?
For sale, or like, is that all right?
Well, if the price is right, I would ask £40 for her.
£40, yeah.
Make me an offer.
Well, I was thinking more like 20, to be really honest with you, you know.
Divided with you, 30.
All right, go on, 30 quid. Sound. Dark, brunette. I think people will recognise that beauty and it should sell. There should be a nice margin in that for us. Double our money anyway.
Ian is a master at digging for the best deals, and he quickly unearths a reminder from a wartime era.
An air warden helmet.
Oh, I see.
Instead of an army helmet. PSE made helmets for the air warden.
Belfast was hit really hard during the Blitz. The Luftwaffe had attempted to bomb the docks, but they dropped the bombs too early and they'd hit rows of terraced housing in East Belfast and 900 people had lost their lives. What price is on this, Stanley? 48. Should do 35?
35, yep.
Yeah, deal. Sound. Thanks so much, Stanley. Thank you very much, sir. That's a nice piece of history right there.
Ian can expect a tidy profit from the air warden's helmet, as one of his regular militaria clients could be willing to pay as much as €150 for it.
Can I just ask you about this one over here, the Warrior's Return? How much is it?
I just hung it up there, I never put a price on it.
Yeah.
Book me an offer and see what I think of it.
You always have to remember, you know, that these prices are not euro. You have to factor in that you're paying sterling prices here. You have to factor in the euro conversion and then your margin on top of it. So that can be tricky. You can get confused. You can make mistakes if you're not reminding yourself of that fact. Just make you an offer and would £40 do it for you?
No, I wouldn't take 40 for them.
Yeah.
You need to be near the 100.
Would I? Yeah. I'm just trying to think what I could sell it for. 70 would be my best foot forward on that now.
Make it 80.
I don't know, no, actually 70, I have to stand firm on that because I just...
Make it 80 and I'll sell it to you.
Okay.
Shake my hand at 80.
If we do 75, I'll shake, but otherwise
Right.
I'll move on.
Shake
75? Thanks. All right, 75.
I don't consider myself a tough negotiator. I have my price whiles and I won't come below that.
He drives a hard bargain, but he seems very happy, giddy in fact, and I am too.
Coming up, Ian's in need of a stiff drink.
How much are you looking for this, Stanley?
Do you need a glass of whiskey before I tell you the price?
And in Dublin, Butsy puts Ian in the dock.
Raise your right hand. Am I going to get a raise this time next year or what?
Yeah, man.
You're going to go down if you don't.
At Countryside Antiques in County Tyrone, dealer Ian Dowling is after a classic piece of Victoriana.
How much are you looking for this, Stanley?
Do you need a glass of whiskey before I tell you the price?
I need a glass of whiskey after that last picture, to be honest with you. You'd be a lady of standing if you were going to be carried around in that thing. Immaculate condition, super old, super rare. I'd love to take it away with me today.
You ready?
Yeah, go for it.
That's 2,350 on it.
When you convert that into euro, you know, I mean, you could buy a car for that. So you're talking the guts of $3,000. So it's a huge outlay, and you really have to be careful that you don't get stung. Big money.
You can make me an offer on it if you want, and I can think about it.
I'd be 1,500 would be the most I'd do on it.
It cost me the most of 15.
Yeah. It cost you 15?
Mm-hmm. And then bring it home after that. The very rock bottom I would take for it's 2,000.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm going to have to say no.
No, well, that's
15,
fair enough.
15, I mean, like,
No,
that's
no,
my limit
no.
on it now. That's 15 sterling, so that's, you know,
I can't.
1,700
No.
euros, so...
I appreciate your offer.
You know, yeah.
I just can't.
Yeah.
Can't accept it.
I would have walked away from the deal if I could, but Butsy carried me out instead. What's that lion sign over there, man? Do you want to read us over?
Yeah, sure, why not?
Honestly, I could get used to this, really could. Check out this sign. You go, man. It's your favourite brand, isn't it?
I like lions, yeah.
That would have been used outside a shop or a retailer of some kind. It's a double-sided sign, beautiful condition. It's one of the two favourite tea brands in Ireland. There's Lyon's Tea and there's Barry's Tea. If you're Irish, you'll appreciate this sign. Would you do 50 for that? 88.
88, no. 60 would be the rock bottom on it.
60? Mm-hmm. Okay, deal.
Thank you.
Thanks, Stanley. Cheers. £60. I'll sell that for 200 to 300. Huge demand for that type of thing. Bread and butter stuff, money in the bank. Delighted.
Ian's a specialist in antique enamel signs and pub memorabilia.
Is that a Guinness sign you have up there?
We're up between the clocks. Yes, that's a Guinness sign.
And after getting an unexpected bargain on the Lion's Tea sign, he may have spotted an opportunity to get even better value from hard bargaining Stanley.
Signage obviously wasn't Stanley's expertise. It's my expertise.
I don't think it's a reproduction. I just can't guarantee it.
Lucky for me, Stanley wasn't too familiar with Guinness signs, and in fact he wasn't sure if this was an original or a repro, but he was still looking to charge me a heavy price for a repro, mind you. So what, you got 235 on this? These signs are my bread and butter. These sell really, really well. Would you do this for 170?
I'd do it for 200.
200, yeah.
200 would let me out.
Would let you out? Mm-hmm. Right. Okay, look, I'll take that for 200. Thanks so much, Stanley.
Thanks a million.
Gentlemen, thanks very much. Add that to the pile. I was happy to pay 2, and it's £35 off, and there's a good, juicy margin there. I'd be looking to get 500 for this sign, so happy days.
We've done good business today there. I hope Ian comes back up to me again and brings a bit more money with him. Maybe I could sell him something more.
He's a wily old dealer, but I've enjoyed sparring with him on pretty much every single item that I was interested in buying.
I wish him all the best. Wish him that he makes plenty of money out of it. I'm happy. Thanks a million for your...
I hope you're happy. I am. I think you are happy, aren't you?
No, I'm not happy at all. But I just have to put a smile on my face anyway.
I don't know about that. Stanley's got some great stock.
See ya.
See you later. But I don't think there's anything here that's going to be a particular good match for my American clients.
After slugging it out over 7 deals, Ian spent a total of £710. But when he returns to Dublin, Ian's banking on turning today's picks into a profit of around €1,000.
Do you reckon you're a match there, Ian, do you?
Yeah, look, he's been around a while. He's a hustler.
He had the sly change of price with the handshake out, didn't he?
Yeah, he was always trying to lure you in with that big hand of his.
Ian and Butsy head for Mulligan's.
Hi guys.
With a Jeep jam-packed with great stock from Athenry and Tyrone.
Are you pleased with everything that you got from Stanley?
He was a tough negotiator now, I have to say.
You know to say, Ian, the pen is mightier than the sword, but I haven't felt the weight of this. I have my doubts. I reckon that could be, a very early Stanley knife.
The top 2 contenders for Ian's friend and client, celebrity American tattooist Mark Mahoney, are the painting and the medal from Athenry Antiques. But there's a regular contact right on his doorstep that he wants to drop in on before making a final decision.
I think we might check out BG Salvage.
I've heard their yard that their land is on has actually been sold for development, so they're relocating to like a smaller premises. But Joe's going to need to downsize his stock, so you might even get better deals than normal.
So we're staying local today then, are we,
Yeah, we're going to BG Salvage on the South Circular Road. You know Joe. Joe's always got a fairly fast turnover of stock, so I'm looking forward to seeing what he's had since we've been away. You know this area, South Circular Road, was bombed during the Second World War, Butsy?
Oh, was it?
My granddad was only living a stone's throw away at the time, and the windows in his gaff got blown out. Hitler said it was a mistake, but that was actually the Jewish quarter. There was a synagogue there on the South Circular Road, so it wasn't. It was a targeted attack.
Who do you think you're kidding, Mr. Hitler?
Exactly, man. That's what everyone was thinking at that time in Ireland. How are you, Joe?
Hi, Ian. How are
How's
you?
things? Great to see you.
Long time no see.
Yeah, I know. We've been out on the road picking.
Oh, yeah.
Joe Byrne is a partner in Bailey Gibson Salvage, one of the biggest architectural salvage yards in Ireland.
I always had an interest in salvage. I like old stuff. The site we're on here at the moment is about 2.5 acres. It's a good time for Ian to call if we are clearing the stock at the moment.
What's this? The Capitol Lounge. I like that. That is cool. What I love about this place is you just don't know what you're going to find. It's just an Aladdin's cave, a proper Aladdin's cave. It's an amazing place, and every time I come here, I fill my boots. I leave here pretty much broke. It's that good.
I think that fella's been there a bit too long, Ian. What do you think?
I think so, man. One of Dublin's most experienced bartenders there. The old crusty Guinness there in front of him.
That's probably what happened to him.
Dodgy pints.
Dodgy pints, yeah.
As the lads explore the massive collection of items, an impressive portrait grabs Ian's attention.
There was a large oil-on-canvas painting in a huge gold-gilded frame that immediately caught my eye. It's fairly cool, though, isn't it?
Yes, it is cool. It's damaged, is it?
Yeah. There's another tear, man, look. And another, and another, and another. There's a couple of tears in the canvas, but to be honest, it doesn't really matter for the kind of client that I'd be purchasing this for. It'd be cool in the pub, wouldn't it?
It would.
I think that would be a real atmospheric piece. Just have to say there. Can you make that out? 1869. There was actually a painting over here I was admiring, this chap over in the corner. We were just looking at, there's a lot of tears in it. What kind of money would you be looking for?
Even though they're damaged and the frame is damaged, they still make good money. Should still make 500.
500,
450,
yeah.
500.
450, 500. I'm looking to pay less than 400 quid for this painting. I know you're moving, like, I'd like to take a lot off you today, Joe. Would you do me a deal on that for 3?
3 is a bit low on it. I'd split you at 375 on it, but I'd really want to get that, really.
Yeah, okay, all right, 375, deal. The impact this would have in a pub, restaurant or hotel. That's why the little bit of damage doesn't make too much of a difference.
Ian can expect to make more than €600 on this oversized portrait. He's off to a flying start. The salvage yard's sprawling site includes 5 warehouses, packed with thousands of items. But with a move on the cards, it's a good time for Ian to see what else he can take off Joe's hands.
Oh man, that's deadly, isn't it?
Butsy and I have a lot of ground to cover today. I could see you in a cokehead, man. Give us the lead.
Oh yeah?
I wonder what this is. Looks like a courtroom or something, doesn't it?
It does, doesn't it?
This is probably a witness stand or something.
Raise your right hand. Am I going to get a raise this time next year or what?
Yeah, man. Deal done.
You're going to go down if you don't.
One item that isn't in short supply here is chairs.
Do you want to get off there and let me see if that works?
Are you calling me fat, Ian? Oh my God. Thought it was gone there.
And although Joe has thousands in stock, Ian has set eyes on 6 very special seats with some local history attached.
First glance, these are fairly ordinary prayer chairs. But as soon as Joe told me the provenance behind them, I was all over them like a rash. Where did these come out of?
These came out of St. Patrick's Cathedral in Dublin. They date back around 1876.
Dublin's St. Patrick's Cathedral has been a place of worship for over 800 years. Built between 1220 and 1260, it's said St. Patrick introduced Christianity to the Irish and baptised people into the Christian faith on this very site in around 450 AD.
They're nice. They're in great nick. Just great wearing them.
They're simple, really nice size, a lovely little bit at the back where you can rest your prayer book. So how much for all 6 then?
All 6. The best price is 50 a seat, so you're looking at 300.
300. You wouldn't do 250? An old friend?
I'm on the floor with these at 50 pop, really.
Would you do it 280 even?
Yeah, for 280.
So, thanks, I'll take 6. Thanks so much, thanks. €280 for 6 chairs dating back to 1876 for €46 a piece. I mean, what an absolute steal.
The church seats are nice by their good history. They won't be got again.
At just 100 quid a chair, Some lucky people out there are going to take home a piece of Dublin history.
Ian swiftly discovers another item connected to St Patrick's Cathedral's long history.
That's a nice mirror there, Butsy, isn't it?
Very good.
Dean Swift bar.
Was he a footballer or something?
No, he wrote, Gulliver's Travels.
I thought it was Jonathan Swift, no?
Yeah, but he was the Dean of St Patrick's Cathedral around the corner.
So did you like that? Are you going to ask Joe about it? Or?
Yeah. Let's talk to Joe about it
Yeah.
because it's Dean Swift and we're here. I mean, it's a bit of local history as well.
Oh, you have to go for that in.
Yeah, definitely. That'll sell really, really well. Joe, I wanted to ask you about this Dean Swift bar.
Yeah.
What's the...
You're looking around €100 for it.
€100. Do you do me a friendly price of maybe 70?
Yeah, we do 70.
Yeah, sound man, thanks so much. The man himself, Dean Swift, is collectible in his own right. Where are you going to find another Dean Swift bar mirror? I'll put a price tag on this of $175. It's not going to hang around long.
With a huge selection of objects on offer, there's something from every era, including some cool retro items. And Joe's got an idea up his sleeve for Ian.
Okay, there's something inside here you might be interested in.
Oh, yeah?
It's an old 60s cigarette machine.
You know me too well, Joe. Fantastic wall filler. That would really add a bit of atmosphere to a pub, won't it?
You can light it up.
Cigarettes are no longer in vogue, but this piece will always be in vogue because it's fantastically vintage.
I haven't seen another one.
Yeah, and what's particularly interesting about finding this cigarette vending machine here in B&G Salvage is that right next door, the Players factory was producing the bulk of cigarettes that went on to the Irish market.
Coming up, will the cigarette machine burn a hole in Ian's pocket?
700 mark.
And tattooist to the stars, Mark Mahoney, is in town.
So Ian, what do you got for me, man?
All right, man, I'm looking forward to showing you this.
In Dublin at BG Salvage, one of Ireland's biggest salvage yards, dealer Ian Dowling is checking out a retro cigarette vending machine. He's hoping owner Joe Byrne won't extinguish the chance of a deal.
What kind of money are we talking?
You're looking around 700 mark.
Would you do it for 5?
Can we split it? Can you do 6 on it?
Can we say 550? I know I'm going to spend every bit of cash in my pocket here today, you know.
We'll do 550.
550, lovely, thanks, that's great. Thanks so much, thank you. I had a client just a couple of weeks ago looking for a cigarette vending machine. I think they're going to absolutely love this one and they'd be prepared to pay $8.50 for it.
Soon this salvage yard will also be part of Dublin history when it closes its doors on its present site. Could be the last chance the boys have to look inside a shed that stores one of the largest supplies of movie props in Ireland.
These might be good for me.
Really?
Yeah. They've even painted over the red there, look. I spotted these Irish post boxes that were used in props in local productions. They weren't the real deal, but they still look great, and if you can get them at a good price, they'll definitely sell. You'd pay $2,000 or something for an original. How much for one of these?
I wouldn't let them go.
Yeah.
They're expensive enough to make. It
Yeah.
costs $1,000 to make them.
$1,000 to make?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
They're a good rental.
Yeah.
But we've loads of other props if you want to have a look.
Yeah, that'd be great, yeah. Yeah, brilliant.
BG Salvage makes its money from renting out its props to movie and TV productions. And generally, the items are not for sale. But as special customers, Joe is going the extra mile.
No one gets in here.
No, this is restricted access.
Only the VIPs.
The boxing bag up there that came out of Ripper Street.
The first step is getting inside the door. The second step is actually trying to come out the door with something, because everything in here he wants to keep. Well, where did this come out of, Joe?
That was a prop that was used on Rain of Fire.
I can understand why, because the prop business is a very profitable one.
This sign there came from Braveheart, and there's some banners hanging up there that came out of Braveheart.
Braveheart was a worldwide smash in the 90s. And although it's a Scottish tale, it's quite close to Irish people's hearts because it was filmed here. This is probably the best prop that Joe has in this room. And if I'm going to be able to twist Joe's arm to take one prop away here today, it's got to be this. So if you're going to sell that one, what would you be thinking?
If I was, which I'm not going to at the moment, but if I was at the moment, you'd be looking around 250, 300 for it.
If I made you a good offer that would cover 2 hires, you could be waiting another 10 years for another 2 hires out of that. You know?
Yeah, it came out of Braveheart, so there is a value in it.
Yeah.
So I'll never be stuck with it.
I knew Joe was not going to part ways with the Braveheart prop unless I could make him an offer he couldn't refuse. 500 quid.
500 quid I would, yeah, but...
I'll give you 500 for it.
Would you give me 500?
Yeah. I'll give you 500 for that.
All right.
Yeah,
We'll
deal.
do the deal there.
Sound. Okay, thanks. Thanks a lot. I can't believe it. I got Joe to part ways with the best prop in the prop shed. I am now the proud owner of a piece of Hollywood history. I won't be the owner for long because this is going to sell really, really well. This is most likely going to go to America, to a movie collector who has an Irish or Scottish connection. And I'm very sure I'll be able to find one who'll be prepared to pay 1,500 quid for it.
With his reputation as one of the best in the business, Bailey Gibson often gets first dibs on architectural salvage when clearing out some of the country's most prestigious and historical buildings.
The volume of stock that passes through B&G Salvage is absolutely huge. You really got to keep an eye here. The great thing about Joe is that he knows what I'm looking for.
These were the front doors and Bewley's. They were the original front doors.
Bewley's is an Irish institution.
Samuel Bewley and his son Charles first introduced tea to Ireland when they imported it from China in 1835. Samuel's grandson Ernest opened Bewley's Oriental Café on Grafton Street in Dublin in 1927. Putting great care into its decor, it became one of the city's most iconic landmarks, where generations of Dubliners have enjoyed a cuppa.
These were installed in Bewley's on Grafton Street in the 1980s. So they're not antique doors, but it's the social importance, the social history that's attached to them. That's the value in them. And they come complete with these fantastic brass handles. Hundreds of thousands, no, millions of people would have literally placed their hand upon these doors when they're going in for a cup of tea or a scone. How much are you thinking for these?
I only they just came in, and we have all the stuff from Bewley's. I'd be inclined to keep them and put the whole lot together and try and sell the whole lot in one lot.
There's more money surely in breaking them up, isn't there?
Not yet, maybe.
If you were going to break them up, Joe, what kind of money would you be looking for these doors?
I'd be looking around $2,000 a pair.
$2,000 a pair, yeah.
Are you interested in them now?
I would be, yeah. I'd be interested in trying to do a deal now. 1,500 for the pair.
Yeah, you really. We'd have to come slightly higher. You'd have to meet me somewhere there in the middle. We'd have to be around the 1,750, 1,700 mark.
Would you shake it 16?
We'll do 1,650 and just to meet me somewhere.
Okay, 1,650, deal.
Perfect.
Thanks, Joe. I just can't believe it. I'm walking out of here with the front doors from Bewley's Café on Grafton Street. The great thing about this from a dealer's point of view is that you can name your price. It's all about the perception of value, and all it takes is one person to see that. But if I can find the right buyer for those stores, I could have a potential profit of about €4,000.
God, you've done well today, Ian. Bit of Braveheart, bit of Bewley's.
You don't leave a salvage yard with the front doors of Bewley's, a prop from Braveheart, or a fantastic 1960s cigarette machine without a big smile on your face. And that's what I'm going to have for the rest of the day.
Ian spent big today on 6 items, but he's expecting a profit of around €6,000 in return.
They spent over 3,500 and we're happy with that.
Really appreciate it. All right, cheers, Joe.
Now.
Thanks, now. I've lightened Joe's load a little bit today ahead of his big move. And I'm looking forward to seeing him there.
So who's this in?
I'm not sure, Vinny, but he's going to look well on someone's wall. What do you think?
Recognise this, Ellie?
Braveheart, what?
That's a good spot.
It's my favourite movie.
Mine too.
St. Patrick's Cathedral, they've been there since 1870. Do you recognise these, Vinny?
I can't say I do.
Well, did you ever have a cup of coffee on Grafton Street, Vinny?
Yes, I did, indeed, many a time.
Where's the most famous coffee house on Grafton Street?
Well, the only and the most prolific coffee place on Graham Street would have been Bewley's.
And you would have walked through these doors. They're from Bewley's.
Really?
The front door from
Oh,
Bewley's,
no, I
yeah.
don't believe you. Serious?
Yeah.
Those doors?
Yeah.
But that's great provenance.
Millions of people that would have walked through these since
Yeah, of course,
the 1980s.
yeah. The social history of that place, yeah.
But as Ian managed to come up with the goods for the imminent arrival of his American client, celebrity tattooist Mark Mahoney.
As much as all this stuff's absolutely brilliant, I don't think any of it's going to fit in a suitcase. So I'd say we'll need something a bit smaller. I think it's going to be that medal from Dave and Athenry Antiques.
So Ian's decided that the War of Independence medal is the right souvenir for Mark Mahoney to take back to the US.
A great idea, and I think he's going to really love it.
He can pop it in his bag, bring it home, frame it, mount it, and talk about it forevermore.
And Mark has arrived in Dublin from America and is making his way to Mulligan's.
I've known Mark for about 4 or 5 years. I was fitting out an authentic Irish pub on the Sunset Strip in Hollywood, and across the road was the Shamrock Social Club Tattoo Parlour. And straight away I thought, there's somewhere that needs a couple of my Irish goodies.
Well, I'm addicted to anything that's old and vintage anyway, so if it's got a connection to the old side, I like it even more.
Mark is proud of his Irish heritage, and that's why he fills the Shamrock Social Club with authentic Irish items from the old country.
I'm picky about my stuff, you know, like nobody can buy me any shoes or whatever. I know what I like, and Ian's one of the only people I've ever met that kind of gets what I dig.
Mark, what's the story, man? Great to see you, man.
Nice to see
Take a
you,
seat, Jeff. I'm
man.
going to show you what I have for you.
This
Hopefully
is
you
a
like
nice
this now.
joint,
It's
man.
great, man. This is actually where JFK had his first pint of Guinness, believe it or not. Just over this spot right here.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
So, Ian, what do you got for me, man?
All right, man, I'm looking forward to showing you this, right? There was a man named Pat Healy, so he fought during the War of Independence. You have the medal, right?
Oh, man.
So this was
look at
given
the
to you.
box.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm getting the chills. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Man.
In 1919, he removed 2 rifles from Mr. Leo D's house and hid them in a cellar. Yeah. His bravery deserves great credit. He pretended to be a policeman in order to obtain information from RIC and Black and Tans at Crowley's public house. So the RIC were like the Royal Irish Constabulary, and the Black and Tans were basically British auxiliaries. Yeah, so he was in the pub with all of these lads, and he pretended to be a policeman himself.
Undercover brother, I like it.
After the War of Independence, he went on to become a cop, a Garda officer, and he went on to become a sergeant. So this was all his treasures. This was his whistle as a sergeant, so he was a sergeant, so that was it. So this is Garda Síochána on it there.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, he was one of the many men who dedicated themselves at that time and risked their lives, really, for Irish freedom. So I was thinking, Mark, $750 for the whole collection.
A bargain at any price.
Yeah.
That's priceless stuff. That's, I'd be proud to have that.
Brilliant. I'm really happy that Mark loves the Pat Healy piece. And I think he really appreciates that I went the extra mile to go and find it for him. No better home that I'd like to see it go to, man. Thanks so much.
So
Brilliant.
cool, man.
Thank you. Mark is going to get this framed up, and it's going to take pride and place in the Shamrock Social Club on the Sunset Strip.
I think it's amazing. I think Pat Healy was an unsung hero, and proud to be caretaker of his record of his accomplishments.
A piece well matched to his client, and a healthy €400 profit made on the medal. Ian and Butsy can finally enjoy a well-earned rest.
Ah, lovely.
Mission accomplished, Ian, yeah?
Yeah, pretty much. I think Mark's very happy there.
Yeah.
That's exactly the type of item that he really loves. It's just a conversation piece for the shop. A little bit of Ireland now winging its way over to Hollywood as we speak.
And plus, you've also found a bit of Hollywood here in Dublin.
I absolutely love this.
What is that?
Oh, sorry, yeah, you didn't hear. It's from Braveheart.
Hold an Oscar winner there then, yeah?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Good bit of profit in that then, yeah?
Yeah, absolutely. We got it for £500.
Okay, right.
I think it's going to sell well.
Excellent.
Yeah, really productive week. Folks, thanks a million for all your help.
There's only one thing left to say, you know?
What's that?
They may take our lives, but they'll never take our freedom!